I want to talk to you about my friend Charlie Crawford. He's a 10-time NFR qualifier.
Charlie Crawford, time to just shake it out and win. Got it on him fast, set
there
up.
We are.
Here's a day
nice
money
run.
lead. You betcha 3-8.
That's an absolute perfect run. Timing was perfect from the time the first swing is up. He's got the control. Charlie made it happen by being timed up with his horse with the steer, and being able to not just rope, but to pick that steer's head up without changing the momentum for the heeler at all.
We know his beautiful wife, Jackie, all three of their beautiful children, the founder of the Liberty and Loyalty Foundation, which this year will exceed $1 million raised for military and first responders. I've said it 1,000 times. Charlie, it's time to rope, nod and ride, whip and spur. I want to welcome you to the Charlie Crawford Podcast. Let's ride.
Hello, everyone. Getting down to the last part of my clinic season. And so I've only got one host spot available. I've only got one date available. I've got December, the middle of December is my only date left for this year. So if you're interested in me coming to your spot and helping out with a clinic and helping getting some ropers tuned up, the middle of December is my only date left available. And so Arizona is a good spot because it's kind of the mecca for the weather. But if you have a good location where you're interested in doing something in the middle of December, I've had a few dates that week before. Great Christmas gift. So if you're interested in hosting a clinic, email me at charliecrawfordtraining@gmail.com. I've got some clinic openings, and so I've got some clinics that are on the books. These clinics will be on my calendar on my social media. So my fan page will be pinned up there on all these clinic dates that we have still available. And so if you're wanting to come to a clinic, I've got an available spot in Sturgis, South Dakota, August 16th and 17th. And I've got a few spots left on the Heelan where Corey Kuntz will be doing the Heelan. The head side is full, but the Heelan side is still open for that clinic. We've got a clinic September 14th and 15th in Paradise, Texas. Corey Kuntz and I will be doing a clinic there, so there's still some open spots there. September 21st and 22nd, Cesar Dela Cruz and I will be doing a clinic in Napa, Idaho. Really excited to be headed up to the Northwest that time of year. It's really, really nice weather. Got a good facility up there. October 12th and 13th in Wichita Falls, Texas. Corey Kuntz and I will be doing a clinic up there. There's some open spots available there. November 2nd and 3rd in Abilene, Texas. That one will be a headers-only clinic, and you can bring your heeler for free where you can get together with your partner, make some good runs, and build your team through this clinic. I've had a lot of good success with my headers-only clinics because it's just specified for the headers. So we don't have to wait around. We can get right to it, and it's a great clinic. And so my buddy Ty Wilson, he's going to be putting that on for me over there in Abilene. So that date will be on my calendar, on my social media. It will be pinned up there. So if you're interested in coming to those clinics, the host is available and the contact information is available on my calendar, pinned up there on my social media. Now, my Champions Level clinic that I'm really excited about, where we're going to make clinics great again. With me and Corey Kuntz, we're going to do a clinic November 12th through the 14th into NRS in Decatur, Texas, and we are going to try to help out you guys getting ready to go to the Arizona jackpots this winter and trying to get everyone ready for the big money in Vegas. That's where we're going to set up the boxes, the same as what's going to be out there in Vegas. We're going to try to get the steers set up to the numbers from the 12 down to the 7, so you're going to have a pretty good feel of what you're going to be roping out there. We're going to set up the boxes the same. We're going to time it. We're going to put barriers up. We're going to film it, and we're going to try to dissect these runs to get the guys that are trying to get sharpened up for the big money at the end of the year. So I'm really excited about that one. Seasoning a green horse. And so the definition of a green horse doesn't always have to be age. You know, you have some guys calling, colts when the horses are like 7 or 8 years old. They're not colts, and so, a green horse is just an inexperienced horse. And that horse could be, 3, 4 years old, or it could be 8 or 9, 10, depending on, if he's still green, the fact that basically he's not seasoned yet and he's not ready to go and start hauling and he's not there experience-wise. Now, the difference between, say, a 3 and 4 year old, 5, 6 year old, and an 8 or 9 year old that are green is a lot of it is maturity level. And so a lot of horses that are a little bit older, their maturity level, they might be able to take it on a little bit faster and be able to handle a little bit more pressure due to the fact that where they're at maturity-wise because of age. But the one thing I try to help a lot of guys with is, so for me, let's just use me for an example right now, is right now I've got Gypsy, that's a 6-year-old that I'm taking to the fraternities. So for me, that's a great way to get these horses ready for the upper level, ready for the jackpots, because they're in a competition setting. There's banners, there's announcers, all that different stuff. They're judged on how well they perform. It's a great way for me to get a horse ready instead of for me trying to haul him to an open roping where the barriers are too long, the cattle run hard, and you're against the best guys in the world. And so this is a very good controlled environment for where I'm at. So now as I'm headed up here to the Spicer Grip, I also have my good horse Cotton. And so this horse has already been there. He's already been hauled around. He's seasoned. He's ready to go. And so what I'll do is I'm going to take Cotton. I'm going to ride him at this enter one time 6-header here at the Spicer Grip. And so Cotton's my main call. Well, I've also got Gypsy in the trailer. Reason? I'm going to haul him around, let him see the banners, let him hear the announcers, let him see the sights, hear the noise, see the people. And say I have a barrier and I am way out of the average. Say I'm going in the 4th, 5th round and literally I'm just roping. Well, if I feel like the setup is good enough to where the barrier's easy enough and the steers are good enough to where if I'm out of the average, I might go ahead and run one on Gypsy. Reason? Just want to let him kind of see what that upper level is. But I'm trying not to set him up to fail. And so what do I mean by that? I don't want to put him in a spot to where he has to see too much of a start. I got to gut him out and he has a bad experience. I want him to have a good experience. So I'm going to be very picky on if that opportunity arises where there's a chance to ride him. I want to make sure that I'm not going to put him in a situation to fail. Now, for most ropers that don't go to fraternities and you're bringing up a young horse, my opinion is you ride your good horses for money. You ride your good ones to win. Now, I'm totally going to, if you got a young horse that you're trying to bring up, maybe you just bought him, he's a little green, and you're kind of building him up, then start hauling him to these jackpots. Let him see the sights. Let him hear the announcers. Let him hear the music during the short round. Ride him around. Ride him in the box. Get him comfortable with all this stuff. They don't always have to rope on him, but just hauling him around and getting him used to the environment. That way, when it is time for his call, none of that other stuff is going to be a distraction. You want to get him as ready as you can. And so haul him around for a little while. Let him see all that stuff. Now, say you're in a spot where you're trying to win money on your good one. Well, maybe you got a barrier, maybe you got a few legs. You're going into, say, the 3rd round, and you're out. Like, you're not in this roping one bit. You're just making runs. Well, in my opinion, that might be a good time if the setup feels good and the steers feel good, and that horse feels like you're going to be able to build his confidence by riding him that one run in that roping. Mount up. Let's see what he does. Let's put him through the test right there. Because it's just one run. So that's where you're going to see kind of where he's at. To me, that's a great way to build their confidence up. I've seen too many guys that season them horses and start entering on them and then trying to compete and win on them. And then sometimes they get a bad experience because they're kind of put through the ringer a little bit early. The goal, in my opinion, is to build their confidence, get little wins. You see, say the NFL, let's take that for example. There's preseason before the season starts. Well, they're not just playing their starters all the time. The starters are getting just enough reps to see where they're at. Other than that, they're seasoning these guys under them. They want to see who can make the plays. But those games in preseason don't mean nothing. So they're able to see where their team is at to where they can structure what player needs to be put where when the season starts. So it's a great way for a lot of your young players to see how fast the defense is, see how fast the NFL is, see what it's like when they know they're going to be exposed on TV. All those pressure and situations, you want to do it where it's not going to affect the outcome like, say, a regular season game. And so same thing here. Help that young horse get some experience, get seasoned to where you're not trying to win on him. You're just trying to help the horse build his confidence so he can eventually get there where he gets enough experience. Okay, now I feel like he's ready. Let's put him in the game time. Now let's try it. Now let's try him for money. But sometimes putting them horses in there and trying to win on them and having the outcome of trying to win something sometimes can blow those horses up or give those horses a bad experience. And like I say, the goal is to try to build them up to see where they're at. So in that way, then when they're ready, then you give them the best opportunity to succeed.